Lord, keep us covered under your precious blood. And Father God, as we go through this meeting, Lord, I ask that you will guide us, direct us in the path you have us to go. Lord, help us to make every decision that will be pleasing unto you. And God, I'll be so careful to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. In Jesus' holy name we pray. And everybody say amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are still waiting on our guest to arrive, so if we don't want to delay the meeting, we're going to go ahead and we'll start with our first session of public comments. Okay, it appears we don't have anyone for the first session, so we're going to go ahead with the meeting. The discussion and action for adding signatories to all bank accounts. Signatories need to be added to the town's bank accounts. It's recommended that both the mayor, Lori Staten, and the town manager, Michelle Roberts, along with Sharon Green and Vice Mayor Ben Adams, be added as signatories on all the accounts. We will need to take a vote on that. Do I want to have discussion or just take a vote?
Just do a motion and second on it, and then we'll discuss it.
So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion. Thank you. Second, motion by Alderman Malone, seconded by Alderwoman Harrowby. Yes, please. Certainly.
Only people that is authorized to sign is able to sign, right?
Yes.
Okay, nobody else signs. Only if you're authorized to do it.
That was again, Ben Adams and Sharon.
It would be the Mayor Lori Staten, Town Manager Michelle Roberts, CMFO Town Reporter Sharon Green, and Vice Mayor Ben Adams.
Okay, so we've added an additional one.
There will be two additional.
Okay.
Yes. I think that was in the interest of things needing to be signed, and currently Ben is not well and we need some signatures, so it just creates a better, the ability to pay things and get things done.
Ma'am,
Yes.
next question. Is it two people per signature per check?
For check,
Does that have two signatures?
Yes.
that is required, I mean, probably a foolish question. Is there bonding on this or anything like that? There is? Okay.
Thank you. Okay, there aren't any other questions. Would you take a vote, please? Madam Clerk?
Yes.
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 Okay, motion has approved. Next is the discussion and action on establishing the salary slash compensation of the interim town manager. We had a workshop yesterday, and for our workshop, it was recommended by Pete Auger that the town attorney and the interim town manager and the mayor get together and discuss the salary, the job description that had been laid out by Pete Auger of MTAS. So I would like to have that discussion with the attorney and the town manager and me, and then at a later meeting we could then vote on and discuss what we come up with. But we will need to take a vote on it. So if we could get a motion and a second to have the discussion about this and then discuss it at a later meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Alderwoman McGee,
I'll say.
Second by Alderman Monroe. Could we take a vote, Madam Recorder?
No. Oh, this is discussion.
It's-
Are we
it's-
not going to discuss this, or?
It's for them to set up a meeting,
Oh, I
and then once
understood.
they'll bring it back, then we'll discuss it and decide if we want to change it or what I understand it.
No, I want to be a part of that process. The board members need to be a part of that process.
And they will be a part of the process.
No, I
We're-
mean, the process from the beginning of the process.
I'm going on the recommendation of Mr. Auger that we iron out a few details to come to the board with something of substance. And that, at that point, we could have plenty of discussion.
Okay. Well, Mr. Auger is nice enough to come, and MCAS is a very helpful and useful tool, but I disagree with that. And I think we need to do it as a board, because I have a lot of questions on that. And I think our input from the start is imperative to it, not just, coming from 3 people and then presented back to us. I do want to be a part of that.
There will be plenty of room for discussion. It would just be best, in his recommendation, that we don't just start from a blank slate, that we have something to start with, just a place to start.
We have a place with the job description right now.
We do have the job description,
that
yes.
is presented, and the salary range can be so much, we're not quite sure what the salary range is. Plus also too, as we discussed last night, whatever pay is going to be suggested on that would be, retro pay that we would go back and to give Michelle for the interim part of the year. And I personally myself, I want to be a part of the process in that respect. And, that's just really how I feel about it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
May I say something?
Yes,
Okay, the way I kind of understand it is you guys are just gonna discuss and bring things to the table. What we may pay her or any discussion you guys have, right?
Yes.
And then we all would discuss it. I mean, it could be yay or nay. But I understand what you're saying, but my concern is Michelle, she stepped up to the plate. She has not been paid one thing, and she hadn't even asked for anything.
No, she hasn't.
And by right, we need to do something. I mean, if you guys discuss it, and per se, next week we come back and you say, we're gonna do this X amount of dollars, we can always say no, but at least we're getting it started where discussion is taking place. But I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, she comes here and work every day,
Yeah,
and she deserves.
That's true, but so did Jeff, so, we have to.
Well,
we have
I
to
understand
say
that.
And then there's so much else involved,
Right.
more than just a job description, like whoever we start to interview, how are we going to interview them? If they're from out of state, if they're local, what kind of
This is going to be a
contract.
different, this is just setting up her payment,
Yes.
her salary, just salary.
Exactly.
Well, then I guess it could have been more clarified on the agenda than discussion and action for town manager salary compensation, because should that not actually be interim?
Excuse me, Madam Mayor, if I could say
Yes.
something. The only thing you are going to discuss is what to pay her, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
It will be, we're going to discuss the job description that has been laid out by Mr. Auger. We're going to make sure that that is still what needs to be done, what is being done by the town manager, and the salary.
Right. Because we don't even know if she's going to accept the job. My concern is her getting paid.
Well, then, okay, I can understand payment, not necessarily the job description as you guys were talking about here, pay, but then make sure it is interim. Because my understanding that this is only going to be a short time, and I'm getting the and maybe I heard it wrong, I'm kind of getting the feel that Michelle may actually want to apply for this job.
Well, I'm sorry, please, go ahead.
And, that is absolutely not what we were told, or the citizens were told about this from the get-go. So, I mean, I do have feelings about that, and, we need to go ahead and iron them out and discuss them forthright here and be transparent to the citizens here in Bluff City. I mean, we have so many applicants that we could possibly look at, and this would kind of make it almost like, I don't know, well, I could say it may be an unfair advantage on it for some reason or the other. And,
Well, we want the best person for the job.
well,
I don't think it has to do
absolutely.
with advantage.
Well, absolutely we do, but this is like almost saying, well, okay, I get the feel this is gonna be a one and done, and, I didn't sign up for this.
I think you, if I could say something, I think you're kind of jumping ahead. The only thing they're gonna discuss is her pay back paying her from
October
up
9th,
to now.
yes.
Up to
Okay,
now.
the 9th.
Right.
And
it-
from henceforward.
Well, we don't know who's gonna be
Well, I'm
receiving
saying
it.
from
We're just
henceforward
concerned-
until
Right.
we actually
We're just
hire
concerned about
a
right
town
now.
manager.
I'd like to
now.
clarify also, you had expressed that you felt it was a short term. We did not discuss a time frame. We knew that the job had to be, that the position had to be filled, and that things needed to be done to get the town back to a place where we could regain trust, we could understand, what was going on and see what the town manager was doing. It was imperative. We did not mention a time frame. So at this point, this is dealing just with the salary that she will be receiving for the work she has done, the work she is doing, and the work she will continue until at such time the board decides that they are ready to move forward with either hiring someone, or opening it up to perhaps, Mr. Auger's suggestion of bringing people in, him collecting. So that's totally different. This is just about salary. It's not prolonging. It's not saying she will be here for in years and years to come. This is just salary.
But
Just
I
salary.
do understand that, it's just, this is our discussion, and I truly do understand all of it.
Well, we should just discuss the aspect of salary. The
Yes,
other
let's
items,
discuss simply not, I'm not even quite sure the job description, because we have not decided yet on the job description. And that is something we do as a board, and
Absolutely.
not just a few people getting together and say, we're here now we're gonna let you all talk about it. I'm okay as long as we put it on there that we will be looking at a range of what, and what are you gonna compare that with? I mean, are you gonna compare that with other town managers and what their pay is? This is such a broad stroke area here, just want us to be very careful when we start it.
we're getting to a starting, it's just a starting point. And all those conversations will be had, we have to start somewhere.
Right.
And I'm going to take the advice of council, but I'm also going to, take into consideration the salaries. We have to have a base. We have to start, and if we don't, we won't, it will be prolonged. So I'd like to just keep this about simply the salary.
Well, we're gonna go back and retro pay anyway, so, does it matter if we decide right now, or?
It does matter.
Or, no, just listen through what I'm gonna say before you say, it doesn't matter. Because we did not discuss this at all from the beginning, and I'm sorry, I make people unhappy here about this, but I'm sorry. You all, I defer to the board on this. But my vote still remains no.
Right. If I may say something, as you know, Alderman, it took us a long time to get here, and we had to have someone. And Michelle, she qualified for it.
Very qualified.
And she stepped up to the plate, and it was right on time. And my thing is, all they want to do is discuss what she has done thus far, so she will be paid, and she deserves to be paid. And I don't think that we should put that on hold, because all they're gonna do is discuss it.
I'm not saying.
And
we
then
don't
we
know.
can come back and vote on it, because nobody's gonna come in here and work for free. And she has worked hard, very hard.
I am aware. I am
Yeah.
aware.
Alderman,
I think we don't need 10 or 15 people trying to make decisions, but, workshop, it's because, take the three, one schedule, she's gonna tell us how much she can work, when she can work, and what her schedule will be, and then what she thinks that she should have as a salary, and y'all can decide the benefits. If, we've already gave her a ham, so we done started the thing. But and then you come back, and then we can sit down and we can say, I don't think that's enough, or that's just too much. We need more hours, we need less hours, and this type of thing. So it just kind of cuts all the red stuff and gets it started in a process. But we don't know what she wants to do, and she don't know what we want to do.
exactly,
Yeah,
we
we
need
don't
to know her
know.
expectations.
And I appreciate that.
And that's where I think we'll get going with it, and get it started. And I know how, Paul, he's very conservative, and so he'll watch our money,
Well, that,
and, so,
you said that very well, and, actually, I mean, like I said, I don't want to come off rough here or anything, but like Alderman Malone just said, hours, how many hours, as a board, I mean, I don't even know how many hours is being put into this right now, so. It's not just the salary, it's some of the other things that goes along with it, and we briefly touched on benefits, and I think now that really is leading ahead here, as far as benefits go. You have a job already, I'm sure you
Yes.
did benefits.
Could I would like to recognize you, please?
Thank you. I've been here for 2 months. If you can tell me the maximum amount of hours that I should be spending on this job, I would love to know. If it's 40 hours a week, I'll give you 40 hours and stop. I have worked days, nights, weekends. I have spent countless hours. So to say that I am not providing the service to this town that you expect is honestly, that's hurtful. I'm not concerned about salary. I've never been concerned about salary. My concern is what's good for this town. If the board decides you want me to continue to work for free, I will stay here and I will do it. Because my concern is for the folks that work here. My concern is for the folks that live here. I have been happy doing this job for 2 months. I have made great relationships. We have found so many other connections that are going to bring amazing things into Bluff City. It is a very, very, very exciting time. But please do not insinuate that every moment that I spend working here is not enough.
Did I?
Excuse me, I have the floor. Respectfully. I have had middle of the night conversations. I've had to make some very difficult decisions, all for what's good for the town. I have tried to communicate openly with the board more than they've ever seen before. We can really try to outreach with the community. And pardon me if I sound a little frustrated right now, but the tone that I'm hearing sitting here over something as simple as whether or not I deserve to be paid. I don't deserve anything. I don't. I'm happy to serve. If the board wishes to compensate me for the hours and generous time that I'm giving, and will continue to give up until a point that a turnover is determined, and whether or not I'm asked to stay, or whether or not another person is asked to come in and take the reins and go, if I'm asked to be here for a period of time to do a full turnover with somebody, which is not what I got, if I'm asked to consult afterwards, I would be happy to come back and say, these are the things that I've observed. Let me help you, new town manager. That's my concern. I do hope that we can be part of this process together. And I'm happy to be open about anything of that conversation. I do agree that we need a starting point. I didn't come and approach the board and say, hey, you're leaving. The board approached me and said, we're putting you on the agenda. I'm happy to sit down with anybody. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Sure.
I did not mention anything about the number of hours. I did not mention anything about that. I did not want you to be paid. All I said was, I wanted to be a part of the process. I think that the board should have been a part of the process.
The board will be a part of the process.
Well, you know, things, the way I'm hearing this, it appears as though things got out of hand, and they got out of hand very quickly. I was getting ready to ask about benefits, and
Ms. Payne, that will be addressed.
well, all right.
And then we can discuss it. But right now, I think it's important to vote on this matter. We've listened to you, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you for your comments.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alderman Malone and Alderwoman Keith, thank you both. I really appreciate the dialogue, but I think now it's time to continue the vote, please.
Alderman Malone,
Yes.
Alderwoman Keith.
Yes. The motion carries.
No, it does not. I voted no.
It does not. My apologies. We do not have, exactly.
We
So,
do have four.
No, we do not. It takes
Three and
three.
five is one.
This form takes 3 votes to do it.
Hold on.
okay, so this has now, we will discuss this at a later date. We will discuss this at a later date. I do, however, find value in what you do.
And so do I.
I would like to now turn the floor over to Chief Depew, who is going to introduce some very special people here.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and we have a very special guest with us here tonight. Sheree, would you like to come up? And I will explain why she's here tonight, why she's our special guest here. She's a very sweet little lady, and every morning and every evening, our officers go up to the school zone, and we try to, get a relationship with the people, be around people, communicate with people, meet board just like people. So I would be here in the mornings, and the guys would come back from the school zone, and they'd have all these good sweet treats and stuff.
So high.
And I'd be like, where are all these good bags of treats and snacks come from? I want to know. And they kept saying it's the sweetest little girl. At the school zone comes through, her and her mom every day, in the morning and in the evening, she takes her time to thank these guys for what they do and let us know she appreciates us and show her kindness to us. So I said, I've got to go meet this sweet little girl. So one day, I got out from behind my desk and went to work and went back to the school zone to meet her and spend a little bit of time with her. Mother was kind enough to stop, so we had a picture taken. And I wanted to invite her as our personal guest, the police department of the town, and I got with the city manager, and she had said that is a great idea, Chief, that would be great. So that's why she's here. So what I would like to do, if Lieutenant Watson and Sergeant Bates would come up, we have you a little something that we want to share with you and let you know how much we appreciate you and what it means to us that you show your kindness toward us. And it's very special that you do that, and we appreciate it a lot. Hey.
I look at him the same way, so.
But we got you something, and he's going to give it. So.
You know, I just want to say, you know, this is the kind of job we've been really beat up the last 4 or 5 years. So it's kind of a job that you see a lot of people that the applicants are not stacking up. You can go to any police department where they used to see 20 and 30 applicants, people in lined up. Now there's nobody applying. You got big departments that pay a really good money to have nobody waiting in line to work. So what I wanted to say was, you know, that's a little disheartening. Every morning when you get up, you're dragging your feet. When I first parked up there, and here she came, I didn't know what she was on. I said, "Oh gosh, here's what she doing." And she was just grilling like a possum. And she hopscotches every morning. She's got, if you do the sidewalks down Main Street, she's got the white stripes, and she'll like hopscotch on every one of them. I wait for her to do that every morning because it just tickles me to death. But ever since, and when she handed me that bag, you could have opened up a case with $1 million in it, and I would never have been happier than what this little girl done. For just bringing our spirits up and making this job really worthwhile, what it is. It's these little people like this that makes it all worth it. And we got you a little something.
Yeah, I think somebody special may come and do. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going
such a good little girl to all these police officers.
There's that look again.
Have to excuse Santa's beard. He's got a little late start this year, so he's working on it. He's got 3 weeks to get it.
He's going to turn gray real soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Would she like to say anything?
Would you like to say something?
You want to
This
talk?
is our mayor.
Now, you like to talk. Now, don't tell me to talk. Talk my ears off.
Want to say something? You can say something to everybody. They would love to hear something from you.
Want to say
Here.
something?
Can we hear?
You want to say something?
I will vouch for this. She does know word for word, Itsy Bitsy Spider. We have her.
I missed it. Thank you so much.
What a precious little angel.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
When we heard,
This is
when we
great.
heard that you talked to us about that,
Mhm.
we were just overwhelmed. What a kind young lady.
And trust me, she does not let me forget in the mornings. Mommy, do not forget the bag. We have to pack a bag, same in the afternoons, just in case they are up there in the afternoons. And she will not let me forget to get a bag to bring every morning and every afternoon. So we will.
Who's with you? Who all came with you tonight? Who are these people that came with you?
Who's this? Lexi.
That's Lexi.
Who's this? Oh, who's that? Echo Lane. And who am I?
Aww. Well, welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for coming. And this was a treat. We on to the next item on the agenda, which is discussion, an ordinance amending the Bluff City Municipal Code, Section 1-102, dealing with the order of business. Am I missing? My apologies. Oh, my apologies. This would be a discussion on an ordinance to adopt a procedure to change the time of the regular meetings of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. There has been some comments made that the meeting, if it were held at 7 o'clock or a later time frame, it would be easier for the citizens to come. So, to discuss, a motion to discuss this.
That's for the 7 o'clock.
Yes,
Yeah, we need a motion.
a motion to,
Well, you all can discuss it. I'd have to draw up an ordinance, you know, if you all decide to do that.
okay,
Yeah, no vote.
no vote, just discussion. Anyone have comments, would you like to speak on changing the time? Yea or nay, either one.
I can see, I guess, less than months, because I'm retired, so it don't matter to me. I mean, at dinner time, seems like it's dark, it's already late, it's at 7 o'clock, so, now it's late, so another hour, it's real late, for me to announce, but I can see that, like Ben coming forward, or somebody coming from work and stuff. I know sometimes Sharon stays over, so another hour, she's gotta stay over, and Paul, the same way. He stays in the office sometimes when we're not here, so, it just depends on what's good for each one of us, thing, but, I can see the advantage of maybe a little bit later time too.
And this is just discussion, though, we can table this for another time if we decide we would like to wait for Ben to do his input. So if we have no motion to amend the ordinance, we'll just,
Well, we'd have to draw up an ordinance to amend it. Would you all like me to draw up an ordinance to change the time?
With me, I mean, whatever's easier for everybody, I can move that.
I could go with the flow of the citizens, or if the citizens really wanted at 7 o'clock, I have no objections to that. I'm kind of like Alderman alone here, but that would be fine. I mean, 7 o'clock, if it shows that we have really good, a lot more attendance at 7 o'clock, I think that would be fine. Or if nobody comes, then we could always go back to 6 o'clock.
That's correct. Well, I'll draw up ordinance for the January meeting.
okay, and moving on a similar topic, there has been some discussion regarding the order of business, and it has been brought to the attention of several people that the order, which is of the comments, the second session of comments, the way it is now, we have the first session, then we have discussion of ordinance, discussion and action, but the second set of comments is before the briefings from department heads, and it was suggested that perhaps it would be nice to have the comments after, so that the public could comment on the things that they heard and they weren't limited. It was also mentioned in the meeting last night that perhaps we set the rules for our meetings along with any type of change, as in, do we want to change not only where the comments are, but do we want to limit the comments at the beginning to agenda items, and at the end, it could be, on any topic. Those are things that would be discussed in a workshop on the rules of the way we do our meetings. So, but at this time, this would be for an ordinance to change where the comments are for the second set.
I highly suggest, I fought for this for changed back in 2023, that it goes back to number 11. And that means the citizens, when their second set, they get to hear all the reports, they get to hear it from everybody else. Plus, too, they also get to hear from the alderman. And that includes old business and new business, and that's critical and crucial. I'm a big yes, wholehearted yes. It was supposed to be put back the way it was before anyway. Now, but I do not want to limit only on what's on the agenda when it comes to that, unless, as you said, is that going to be in a workshop?
That would be a workshop, we can define
That's
those
fine.
things.
Because I'm just
This
saying,
would
I
be
don't
just-
want to, whatever, they can speak on whatever they want to. Let's not get military here and crack that whip. We want to hear from them.
It's not
Period.
military or cracking a whip. We actually went to a commissioner meeting and it worked out really well. But everyone knew that at the beginning they were going to discuss comments germane to the agenda, and at the end you could comment on anything. Nobody was not allowed to speak, but they kept it in order for the agenda to the agenda items.
And I think the citizens should be allowed anything that, anytime that they want to speak about it, first or second, and not limit.
That will be in a workshop.
All
Right
right,
now, we're just
super.
going to look at the position of the second set of comments and the
Time for number 11, right before adjournment.
If I may say something, I do agree about the common citizens should be able to speak on anything they want to, first or second, because it's important. So, I wouldn't want to go that.
Yeah.
So we would like an ordinance to be drawn up to change the position of the mayor.
Yes.
Well, I'll draw it up for the January meeting.
Super.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the discussion regarding an ordinance to amend the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, in the amount of $8,500 for necessary repairs to a public works vehicle. Open for discussion.
Which vehicle?
I'm going to pull it up. What was it, Alan?
BC 9.
And I'm gonna let our town manager, interim town manager take over.
Just want to give some details on the request. So BC 9 is the F-250 truck. It's like a flatbed on the back. It also doubles as our salt truck. It is the only vehicle currently equipped to handle the salt box. It has a lot of disrepair that's been happening for quite some time, and it's caught up with us. Right now, it is actually unsafe to drive. So the request for the repair is to get all of these parts replaced on the vehicle. This quote we actually just got updated from today, so it's slightly less than what we requested for the ordinance change tonight. As you can see, the total is just under $6,600. And what this would do for us, of course, gets the vehicle back in operation, but now when we're in the winter time and experiencing snow and ice and all those wonderful things, gets our salt truck back on the road. So it really, with this truck being down, it's a major problem, of course, for Public Works. And then, Alan, is there anything that you'd like to add as far as, you know, what else you guys use this truck for? Or
It is used for the saltings of roadways during storms and stuff like that, but not only that, this vehicle is actually suited to take out our jetter and other heavy equipment. So it is an item that we truly need. I mean, I know we've been dealing with a lot of rust being that vehicle is associated with salt, but the level of damage that it is currently in, it needs to be repaired. And like in the event of last night, like if things had got worse, we basically wouldn't have had an adequate response. We would have been able to contract that worked out, but we need to get in a situation where we have a vehicle ready. And man, like for future reference, I would possibly look into possibly budgeting for another F-250 that is equipped with the attachments for salting and plowing of roads, because if our vehicle go down, we don't have an alternate. So that is something we are gonna have to look at.
But what's the age of this vehicle?
This vehicle, I believe, is either 2009, I believe, and it has like 76,000 miles on it.
It's from,
2011.
2011 with 73,000 miles on it. And if you were to get an F-250 right now, you're gonna be spending between $70,000 and $80,000. So I would get this one fixed, but in future budget, I would possibly look into getting another.
when did we get this vehicle?
It was before my time. I got here in 2013.
Oh, my goodness. It's got some age on it.
2011.
Yeah. I think we need it. I mean, we can't be left without having a salt truck. I make a motion.
Well, we'll have to draw it.
Another ordinance on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharon will have to get me the numbers. So we're gonna.
Having said that he's going to drop the ordinance to do this, I would like to call a special meeting to get this done sooner rather than later, given that we're under weather now.
So Sharon just made the figures, I'll have the ordinance in a few days.
Okay.
Thank you.
We need that.
Okay, moving on, we are going to now have our report from the town manager.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to drive and read at the same time. And I'm not gonna read word for word, so I'm just gonna give you a quick overview here. And I apologize for how long this is, but, as I stated in the first paragraph here, so where we didn't have the board meeting last month due to the election, it's about 2 months worth of information here, so it's a little bit lengthy. Yeah, so this covers 2 months. This covers from, October through, November, and, of course, pretty much from October 9th, since that was the time that, I came into this position here. So, just a couple things, as far as projects that we have going on. Carter Street Sewer Project was originally planned to start October 7th. And then that was right after Hurricane Helene came through. And the contractor, Thomas Construction, who was set to do that work, was asked to help with relief efforts. And so we allowed them to take several weeks to go out and help with that. So we did a pause on their start time. And that project schedule now has been pushed back to started yesterday. And they do have a 60-day period of performance, but it's looking like we're going to be done around January 10th. And this also, the work that they will be doing will not have any negative effects on the parade, which is on the 14th. So any work that they do will be buttoned up by the 13th. So for the 14th, everything will be safe. Let's see. We also are in receipt of the final design plans for the water treatment plant project. We are currently looking through those right now. Specifically, the electrical drawings were what was left, and we have received those. Our goal is to have those back to Matter and Craig by the end of the week. And also, we have asked Matter and Craig to look into the sewer situation across the street here at 4406 Bluff City Highway. And with the flooding and also a persistent odor that's happening there. This is a top priority from our standpoint. I would assume it's from the board's standpoint too. So we're really pushing to get that investigated and find out what needs to happen. So depending on what the outcome is of that, you'll be hearing from me some more. And just with those projects right there, I'd like to call Mr. Austin Smith from Matter and Craig to just give his brief report of those projects that they're doing for us.
Thank you.
She kind of covered everything that I So I'll be brief. Yes, as you mentioned, Carter Street, Thomas started staging, or at least, have they moved anything out there yet? I haven't been up there.
I haven't been out to the site.
They started mobilizing today. I did get to speak to Dennis today, so they are starting to mobilize.
Okay, yeah, so, told us that it'd start, well, I guess yesterday, the staging equipment, and, hope to begin, the cutting, later this week. Last I heard, Thursday or Friday was their start to begin work out there. As Michelle mentioned, we expressed how crucial it was that they had everything buttoned up by the time of the parade, and they felt they could get going and get the first section done, get it buttoned up like they were never there to not interfere with the parade. Also, as she mentioned, the town has our 90% final draft plans, currently reviewing those. And the asset management plans, I know we discussed those a couple months back. Those applications that we have submitted, we have not heard word on those at this time, but do expect for something to be announced by the end of the year. So hopefully next month's meeting will have more news on that. And other than that, if y'all have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. We are looking at the sewer issue. Me and Mr. Randy Beckner discussed getting with Alan, seeing exactly what's going on, and seeing what we can do to fix that. And also a drainage issue out on McClellan. And we met with Michelle, I guess, last week, and after the meeting, we went out and stomped around a little bit to see what we thought the problem was. So we'll be getting in touch with her to move forward on addressing those problems. You have any questions for me?
I guess the school parking and stuff, I know earlier somebody said it's gonna be worked out, where in the morning and the night, there's not big cars, back up in there.
For school traffic, I do not know the specific plan. I do know that it's been coordinated with Hank. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I was supposed to meet with Mr. Hare this morning, but due to the weather, we've postponed it till tomorrow, and with the 2 hour delay, instead of doing it tomorrow morning, we'll be meeting at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So we're gonna actually go out and walk the grounds and solidify the plans. They had some preliminary plans for how they were gonna handle car rider lines. It shouldn't affect anything this week. It will start to affect the traffic next week, and then the school is out starting on the 20th. So there'll be a good gap of time that the kids won't be in school either, so we've got to figure out about a week and a half, having really good traffic control out there and making sure that things flow. So the biggest concern that he and I talked about so far was the bus traffic and then how that will go. So we're going to take a look at that tomorrow. So good morning.
What about McClellan Street? Is that the part, is it just drainage or is it sewer?
No, this is just stormwater runoff.
Stormwater, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of stormwater that runs through the end of McClellan Street. And Alan and I were able to go out there one day and kind of take a look at it while it was raining. Thankfully, it wasn't gushing, but you could see the flow of water maybe needs some help to get to the right locations so that it's not just flooding the end of the road.
Is that the area there that goes right underneath the trestle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, and it's like two roads converged together.
Well, not years ago now. Maybe it's been 7, 8, does it seem like that long? Yeah, we spent quite a bit of money on that, on McClellan Street for the sewer issue.
Yes. And that's my understanding too. The sewer was worked on, but
Thank goodness we don't have a sewer.
no, thankfully no. So more to come on that. And
Drainage.
as soon as we hear more about what that will look
So
like.
steep.
Yeah, we'll let you know. It is, and you've got two roads that converge together right there, and it creates kind of the perfect storm right now. So hopefully, we'll have a solution for that.
I have one more question.
Yes,
On
ma'am.
4406 over there.
Yes.
Is that creating a sewer overflow right there?
The last time we had a sewer overflow there was during the Hurricane Helene event, and that once we got a lot of I&I into the system, we ended up repairing the manhole at 4437 Bluff City Highway, and basically what we're starting to see, being that we capped that one off, it's sealed, it's just basically went to the next slowest manhole upstream, and that's soon as we get that corrected, I think we'll be in a great spot.
We just don't want to start having our sewer overflows again. That you lost too many sleepless nights over that one.
All right, are there any other questions on the projects? Okay. So just some highlights of operational activities. Of course, we processed 2 resignations from the mayor and vice mayor. Reacted to several town hall alarms. Those led to the resets of passwords and security codes. A lot of work was done on that. Huge thanks to Cleaner for working with us and getting those corrected quickly. We did finalize a claim for THSO grant. It was actually due on August 1st. They needed some additional documentation. So we got that to them, got that finalized. We've received a quote for the rekey of Town Hall. So our next steps will be getting a key control log in the ledger so we can actually have some sort of key control, because right now there is none. And then also making sure that we're assigning the correct keys to the correct employees. We did a recommendation for calling for the beer board permit, which the board did meet in November, and that gentleman has received his permit. There was a retention incentive that was processed for Officer Hawthorne. Updated process for delivery of meeting agendas, which is now saving us time, money, and resources. And I will say, if there's any discussion on that, please let me know how that's working. We also did the request for the 2019 Chevy Tahoe, and that was received. It is right now being looked at for warranty recalls, and so once we have that, we hope to make that available to the board and the public to be able to take a look at it and check out what we got. It's a very nice vehicle. We did receive 728 trash cans that were approved for purchase from the board. We received new replacement multi-function devices, so those are your scanner, copier, printer devices that we use on both the police department and administrative side, and those included service agreements for those. We had assistance for the local trunk of treats for our police and road closures. We investigated the replacement of the town's salt building, and just a heads up, once we have some of that information and recommendation ready to go, we'll be presenting that to the board for that replacement of that building. Alan and his folks, have to give them huge props. The building was falling down, and they went in there and they've actually dismantled it and cleaned it up. So safety concerns are no more. Represented the town hall along with the mayor for a ribbon cutting ceremony at a Sullivan East. Very nice ceremony. We also have since been granted, I've said partial, but we've got mostly edit access now to the BLUFF City webpage. So working on updates. There are several things on there that are still that still need to be updated, but we have the ability to do some changes to that now. We have implemented a police department fleet oil change program, which is saving us a ton of money. It's also saving the department a lot of time and not having to be without a vehicle for an extended period of time. It's my understanding they do these oil changes now in 20 minutes. So let's see. We are in the process of finalizing a fleet car wash program. And let's see, we processed an employee separation for Trey Smith. Also provided support facilities to the County Board of Elections on November 5th election here at Town Hall. An investigative process compensation increase for Officer Holtzclaw. Represented the town of BLUFF City on the tour of the Impact Community Center. I highly recommend that if you have time, check it out. They have some great programs over there that are supporting our community. Things that I didn't even know existed there. Awesome programs. And if you want to be connected with anybody, please just let me know. Represented the town of BLUFF City along with Mayor Staten to the County Commissioners meeting for November. We also met with the town's insurance carrier preparation for next year's coverages. Thank you, Sharon, for your help on that. We are actively researching the paving projects with Matter and Craig for the Carter Street and Lakeview Drive. We hosted a Thanksgiving luncheon for the town employees on November 27th, which I absolutely enjoyed. I hope the board members did too.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. We're actively researching quotes to repair and replace. There's a broken gate and a closure at the city garage. So right now, employees are having to manually move that gate need quotes for the, I'm sorry?
The $3.90.
That is the
That
bridge
one's
pumps.
that's one of the, that's, well, we only have two of them. That's a new one down there?
Uh-huh. That's one of the newest ones.
And it's, what's wrong with,
Oh, well, baby, you're dealing with pumps. We still got issues with, I don't know how these mop heads or whatnot get into our system, but they'll get caught up in these pumps, and you gotta rip them out. And I think the last time when we went down, we ended up having a seal fail. That's what it's in the actual shop for, was a seal failure, and we had to put the pump in the shop. So we are still operating, but yeah, we still got issues with mop heads and rags. That's like our biggest Achilles heels right there, that we're dealing with when it comes down to these pumps. But yeah, it's in the shop.
Any other questions at this point? Sorry, I was rolling.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you
you're
there.
fine, you're totally fine. I'm just gonna reiterate, repaired the pumper truck, the leaf truck, and, as you saw, we obtained a quote for the, salt truck repair. We've also had several inquiries come through the town page, over the last couple of months, and I did wanna point out that we received one, which I thought was a nice suggestion, for a rainbow bridge for Bluff City Pets. And I know that there was some conversation with the prior board maybe about doing a dog park. So,
No.
I don't, I'm just saying, it came through, so letting you all know that that was a recommendation that was made.
Is that what it is for a doggy park?
This wasn't specifically for the dog park, I just kind of put the two together, but,
Didn't know what rainbow bridge meant.
so when a pet passes away and they cross the rainbow bridge.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Should
you're
have put
good.
swing a bridge, you know what I'm talking about?
But it could be a nice memorial for pets. So maybe more discussion on that.
Do like a monument out there for them. Okay. On
Like to
mine.
take pictures? All right, any questions on the operational activities? All right, I'm gonna move on to, some organizational activities. So these are just kind of things that, noted, working on, hoping to correct. We've got to take a look at our Facebook and YouTube accounts. We don't have independent access right now because there's still other, previous employee, access on those sites. So we're looking at what our options are there. We've inquired about maintenance on,
I'm sorry.
I'll go back to number one.
When you say, you mean we don't have people that have been blocked off of this?
So it's my understanding that both of these accounts, whatever the original administrator account was, nobody has access to it. And I cannot tell you how far back that goes. So, yeah, we're working through that. So I inquired about building maintenance. We don't have a building maintenance program in Bluff City. And that kind of goes along with number 3, town hall specifically has several maintenance issues that need to be corrected. So, we're trying to get those together and see what we can do to get those repaired.
Are you talking about in here? Well, I know, it's bad.
Yes, that's the worst thing. And that has to do with the issue with the roof.
Roof, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's been talked about for a long time down there. And can we just move on that? And
Sure.
Before our building in here collapses and we have to build a new building. And
That
if
is
you don't
definitely-
take- Yeah, if you don't take
definitely
care
a
of
priority.
stuff, you know, it falls apart.
Yes.
I mean, I was shocked about the shed for the salt. I mean, I didn't know all this stuff was in that much bad disarray.
We didn't
I mean, this is shocking to find this out. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the board, but I'm shocked.
And so these are just the kinds of things that every day we're hearing something new, something new, something new. And yeah, it's, as you can tell, it's a lot. And so we're just rolling with the punches. And hopefully, I think we're gonna get to a point where it will break even. if it does exist, I would love somebody to let me know, but I haven't found it. So the one that I've found is
That was
dated.
a whole lot of this and a whole lot of nothing.
So we're working on that too. Also, interviews were started in September for the municipal clerk that was approved by the board. Some of the things that we've seen happen with the administrative staff recently, it's come to my attention that we really need a backup for our circuit clerk. We don't have another employee that backs that position. Right now, our circuit clerk has been out for a little over 2 weeks with a broken leg. So I'm going to look at reposting that position as a backup to the circuit clerk, so we have redundancy on both sides.
Okay, look, I sat down there and I said, you know, why do we need an additional person over there? At the time I thought maybe Sharon was retiring or, that Sandy was out at that time. The three, we've always had 3 people up there. I know it was approved, but I think that's something that maybe the board might want to look at again, especially now that, you know, we're looking at some additional expenses clearly about what we have heard tonight and what we know has to be done moving forward. And, I mean, I know it's kind of tough, and I thought maybe if we had hired a temp person, you know, to try to help catch up out there, at least on the minutes of meetings, some things that didn't require a lot of information to come in here and do.
We can discuss this at a workshop.
That's what I was
now.
gonna, well,
If we could just get back, it's been about an hour, and I know we still have more to go. I appreciate what you're saying, it's very valuable information.
Right.
But I would like to keep to the topic right now and kind of focus on finishing this, and I'd love to I'd really like to set up a workshop, because everyone has valuable ideas.
yeah,
and
that would
be
be fantastic, but
great.
the only reason I said anything about that is because it's saying it's gonna be reposted. And that.
I'll put it this way. I'll pause pending the outcome of a workshop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, moving on. We've got to take a greater look at permit requests for road closures. That really has been happening. Those are for like private road closures, not for ones that the town chooses to do for construction or whatever reason. We also need to instate or enforce processes for our building and construction permits. And Mr. Fry, that's probably going to be something that I need to discuss with you, because we're not really seeing that happen. I've also been investigating a lot of the HR needs, employee file documentation, and training requirements. Again, that kind of leads back to the handbook and the other things that I've mentioned so far, which is just the foundational organizational things that are lacking, for lack of a better term. Let's see. There were plans to incorporate an online pay system, and I know that this is big for the community, but we have to address some security issues with our networks first before we move forward with that, because online payment systems could cause security issues for folks with their bank cards and things like that. We're also looking at the billing and physical security measures, and we're looking at the network and cybersecurity measures, and also replacement of aged cell phones. We have employee cell phones who are very important, obviously, who their cell phone won't charge. So they're dated. We're talking greater than 6, 7, 8 years. So looking into what that's going to look like. And that is the end of my report. Any questions?
Thank you, much work.
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
With the holidays coming, Christmas, do the employees get a Christmas bonus? Would you know?
I have noticed that there is a Christmas bonus in the budget. How that breaks down, I have not looked into that.
Okay, well, my next question is there any way that we could give Michelle a Christmas bonus? I mean, with her being an employee, for say, interim, could she have something? If we're gonna give Miss Moore something, could we give her something? So we could take a vote on that, couldn't we? Could we not?
Would it be an appropriation of an ordinance to amend? Or no, we could just, whatever the amount is, it could be divided.
I don't remember seeing anything in the budget for Christmas bonuses.
Well, they usually, don't you guys usually get something for Christmas?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I say all that to say this, I mean, I'm not, and I do want to know how much spend on Heritage Day and the stage and all that. And if we had money to spend on that, we should have something to be able to give our interim city manager for the work that she's done. And to this day, we don't know how much we spend on Heritage Day, the stage, or matter of fact, we don't know what we spend on anything.
No, it's in the budget what the maximum amount is. There's a
Yeah,
amount that's much, but I don't have the breakdown of the numbers.
I think the board wants to see some numbers.
Yeah, I would
I
like
want to
to.
see some numbers.
I want to see a lot of numbers.
On the Christmas bonus, I don't know if Paul would know or not, but before it's given out, Michelle, would you call the comptroller's office in Nashville? And I'm not, I'm talking about the treasurer from Tennessee, and ask about that as far as the municipality. And the reason I'm asking that is with the 911 board and stuff, when they audited us and stuff, that was a big deal. We wasn't giving any bonuses. We could give plaques and certificates and do stuff like for 911 dispatchers, but the board members could not take anything, and some of the director and stuff like that, because it had been abused a lot, and it may not, I'm not saying you can't do it, it may not need to say Christmas bonus. And I know here at one time when they got money, I think it was part of that COVID money, they had a, a big bunch of money for people to give, and it just kinda got stuck of our, maybe Christmas bonus or something, as a place to put it, but, if we would maybe get that clarified, and it may not need to say Christmas bonus,
It's
on
bonus.
the thing on it,
We
and,
just want to do it
Or
right.
just say
Absolutely.
bonus.
and,
Is there anything, could
and
you
to
speak to any
ask
of
them
this?
what the procedure, so that we don't get
Yeah.
back into giving this a bonus and that a bonus, and how much they can get that way, and make it some kind of, structure stuff. I'm sure we can do it, it's just a matter of, what's the legal way to do it.
Not right.
So like it's hard, it seems like it's hard getting something.
Well, it's just-
Well, it goes through,
Let's ask,
it goes through payroll.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it goes through payroll.
That's what I thought.
Well, I thought some cash was handed out last year.
So
No, I
any
think
bonus-
That's what I heard.
No, that it, I mean,
And then it was came back, did I hear that correctly?
Yes,
It was
ma'am.
cash was
No, it
handed
came
out?
through payroll.
Yeah.
well, I said that to say there's
So
an.
that's why I say, it might be just a way of saying not effective, that's bonus, and that,
Right.
it's just what it is.
Well, it needs to be done soon, because
All right.
Christmas is gonna be.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the department reports, police and public safety. Chief,
Oh, real quick,
you.
you've got
Yes.
second session of public comments.
Oh my
before
gosh,
that.
yes.
Yes.
Ah,
That's okay.
We're gonna get
Sorry,
this
Chief.
eventually.
You're good.
Eventually. Yes, I was just hoping we could move into comment. Second session of public comments. Would anyone like to speak? Alan.
Sarah Malone, 123 Cool Crest Road, LFC. And thank you all. I know it's kind of difficult with everything that the town has been through, and I appreciate it. I just want you to know. Appreciate everybody here. And, as you all know, as of right now, I am, the chair for the Bluff City Family Committee. There are some events, coming up. We're supposed to have a caroling. We usually walk on the sidewalk, so it's nothing but the street or, really needs to be closed for that or anything. That's on the 13th, and we're gonna meet at the library at 5:30. So if any of you all want to come caroling up and down Main Street of Bluff City, you are very welcome. But, I know there was, one lady that attended last year, and she said we didn't have a very good turnout, it was very cold. And she said we sounded awful, so anybody that can
That's
sing,
horrible. Well, I
come
can't
out and
sing.
help us. she had mentioned about the Facebook issues and things like that. I believe my sister-in-law, Wanda, actually used to manage that when she was working here. So you may want to ask her, if she knows the codes and things again, because I may be mistaken, but, I know that she used to, put everything on Facebook and the website page there for a long time. So I may want to get with her about that. I have had a lot of people asking the committee and myself about the Christmas parade, and I didn't know if you all had access to Facebook and stuff that posts about times and when people needed to come and line up and so forth. So I just wanted you all to be aware, I think I talked to you about that, but there has been a lot of people asking when the parade's going to be. And I told them the band had it slated for the 14th. So I said, y'all need to call the town if you want to enter a float or vehicle, whatever. I gave them town center. I don't know if you've been bombarded, but I'm sorry, but that's all I need to do. But also, I wanted to ask you guys, Becca had mentioned that there was actually some money in the budget for the committee. So I didn't know if you all could investigate that. I think she said there was $1,000. And as you all probably know, or if I've told you, the committee doesn't have a lot of money in its coffers. We get donations and things like that, and we do help, in the past we've helped the city. There's been a lot of it that's come out of my own pocket for the community, and even some of the city functions that we've had. So, I mean, anything would be appreciated. If it's still in the budget, I don't know, but if you all could please let me know if that is there. But I do want to say that I do appreciate Michelle and for her work, what she has. It's been a difficult job. I know it has. And just with the change and the things that the town is going through, even with the committee, it's been very difficult. We had a tree lighting statement over there. It was kind of thrown together. There was a few issues. Didn't have a lot of people helping that were supposed to have been on. So I think it went pretty well for what it was. But going forward, I would just like to say I want the town to be involved in what we do as far as working together. I think it would be wonderful, and I just want everything to run as smooth as possible going forward with the committee. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And I appreciate all your comments. We will look into the things that you mentioned. And, check them out.
Oh, and if you all do need any help, let me know. You have my phone number, Facebook, or whatever. Just let me know if you're listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak? Okay, if there isn't anyone else, we will now go on to the department reports, and we'll start with public police and public safety. Chief Brian Hickey.
Good evening, Mayor, board members, city manager, and citizens. Thanks for allowing us to have our guests here tonight. We appreciate it. And I'm glad also Hawthorne was able to show up late tonight. So,
Hello.
but we've had a very, very busy, productive month. Things have went well. This morning was a little crazy with road conditions, but we got through it well, and everybody was good. So for the month, we had a total of 297 calls. We issued 330 citations. We issued 100 warning stats is the highest I've ever seen in another year. And the trend where I'm seeing this going keeps going up. And where I look at my stuff through the year, should be one of our slower months, and we're on one of our busiest months of the year so far. So as we move forward, I see it being really busy. So we had 62 offense reports, just 3 alarms, 26 accidents, which that's high. A lot of that was deer, some of it was deer, but our traffic flow is picking up. So we're seeing with that, their accidents, with their citations. We had 2 domestic assaults, we had 5 DUIs, and here's the key that's really picking up, and all of these things are really more major drug arrests and other stuff. A couple was on the news, if you see it. But we had 20 drug violations. So things are getting busy, staying busy, but we have a great group of guys who are doing an outstanding job. I get a lot of good feedback from the court systems. Ben, if he's here, can back that. They're taking great cases up there. They're working felony cases. They're having no issues with it. They're presenting stuff to them, but I'm getting feedback from DAs and judges and stuff complimenting their work and what they're sending to the court. So all that stuff's good. They're working really, really hard, and we're looking forward to the rest of this month. And I'll say this too, things is getting down to ever good. I thank the board, I thank all of you all. It's a very relaxed working environment. People are very pleased with the way things are going. I thank you all for making changes that you made. And Michelle, thank you for what you do. It's very pleasurable to come over, have a great working relationship and conversation. Board members, thank you. It's good that we now can talk to department heads with our board, with our city manager, with our board and our citizens, and everybody is coming together to make this place better. And I can speak on behalf of all the police officers. It's just a different feel now, and I thank you all for that. It's just looking forward to the future and keep trying to do everything that we better. Any questions or concerns?
Real quickly, Kevin Smith, is that all that dropped?
I'm very pleased with the way that has been handled, and the city manager has been in direct contact with me. She's been in direct contact with Officer Smith. He is very satisfied. As a matter of fact, we've had several meetings. We actually had a meeting today. She has followed up with that. I'm very pleased with the way that was handled. Officer Smith would say the same thing. He's very pleased with the way things was handled, and thank you for that. And things are being documented, it's been handled appropriate, and we're pleased. Yes.
So it's done.
Officer Smith is very satisfied with the way things are, and some things I can't openly discuss here, but he is very pleased. I'm very pleased. Things, the way I see it, the way he sees it, was handled extremely well, and we appreciate it so much. And I know through all that, a lot of people did a lot of things that really stood up and did a lot of stuff, and I appreciate it.
That's all we care
I
about.
really appreciate it.
So he's happy with
He's very
his
happy.
part of it.
He's as happy as he's ever been, and I want to say this 20 drug arrests you see, we made some changes. We allowed him to go back. He loves the drug yard. He loves being out in the trenches, and he loves working. So he's been a huge part with making our night shift here much more productive, much more safer, gives some good supervision there, and he is as happy as he's ever been. So everything's great, and just look forward to the future and making things better.
Great.
Fantastic.
So hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a great Christmas.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
And my apologies, I missed you, but I will circle back. I'm gonna get it eventually, folks. Public Works. Supervisor Ellen Wiltshire, please.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. Hope everybody's having a good evening. When it comes down to the water department, water plant is operating normally, pumping an average of 255 gallons per day. Our water tank level is at an average of 47.58 feet and a max level of 54 feet for the month. The water treatment plant operated well during the month, only being down while doing backwashes. So we had a great month overall when it comes down to the water plant. Didn't have any overall issues throughout the month. We did have to do numerous backwashes to keep everything operating, but we were able to do that and keep things going. When it comes down to the distribution system, the water distribution system is 4-inch gate valve. Since making those repairs, we have seen tremendous gains in our water tank level, which indicates this was a big one. What we ended up finding on Carter Street, we ended up having a 4-inch line. The lateral that it was tapped to basically was broken off, so she only get a portion of the water that she's been receiving. And I'm willing to say this leak probably been going on for a couple of years. This was a big one. And we were able to reduce our purchase water from 80 gallons and then down to 30. So we were able to take it down a whole 50 gallons per minute just from that one leak. So 50 gallons per minute. So we were losing a lot, but we were able to get that fixed, and we are seeing tremendous gains. So that is amazing. In the sewer department, it is operating well with there being no overloads in the month of November. We still are pulling excess amounts of wipes, and I still don't get it till this day. These industrial grade mop heads we've been pulling out of the pumps. They get wrapped around these impellers, and whenever they get wrapped around the impeller, the pumps get less efficient. So I mean, we're not pulling half of what we actually get. And after we ended up making those corrections, we started working more efficient, but that is something that we still are seeing issues with. I don't think it's coming from residents, and I know how much business we got. I don't want to point any fingers, but I think we have an issue with that going on, and this has been an ongoing thing, not something that's just recently started. But in the street department, the city workers are working hard maintaining the brush and leaf pickup throughout town. We recently received our leaf back out of the shop, so we will be collecting leaves as of now. Our designated days for brush pickup is on Wednesdays and Thursdays, with work orders taking precedent. Overall, that's what we got going on in the Public Works Department. I will close this statement by saying it's been extremely hard trying to keep old vehicles going. It's becoming a task, and we do need to look into upgrading our fleet, because every year this time rolls around, we're running into the same issues, and we're just about getting the same issues fixed every year. It just seems like it's moving down to the next truck, but this is something we seriously need to look into. That's all I have, but if you all have any questions, feel free, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard that. I heard that.
Great. Finance and administration. Garcia Lopez.
As of October 31st, 2024, general fund, $2,181,840, sanitation fund, $58,409, special police fund, $2,368, debt service fund, $112,382, sinking fund, $3,094, water sewer fund, $784,618, total fund balance is $3,450,792.
Thank you. Who do you want? Oh, we have to vote on, we have to vote on this one, okay.
I make a motion to approve the fund balance. If that's the right way to say it.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate the motion. Motion made by Alderwoman Van,
I'll second.
second by Alderman Malone. Shall we take a vote?
Alderwoman Payne.
Yes.
Alderwoman
Yes.
Alderwoman Key.
This is the list of the amounts that are in there, correct? Yes.
Vice Mayor Adams.
pleasure to see you all out here tonight. Your input is very meaningful down here, and I look forward to serving you for 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Malone?
Well, thank everybody for coming, and thank Michelle and Public Works, Police Department, everything, and, Mayor, and everybody that's involved, and all the hard work that we went through these last couple of months, and everybody's learning, going to do it. It's gonna be a positive year for next year. We're all sure of that, you know, and, but, just wanna thank everybody for input and stuff, and, appreciate you coming.
Thank you. Just want to thank everybody for being here. I maintain who I am. I will continue to stand up, speak up, and speak out for what's right. And also, I'd like to thank our city manager, Michelle, for your service and hard work. And you guys need me, I'm just a phone call away. So have a Merry Christmas, and let's be kind to each other.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Is there any old business we need to discuss?
No,
Yes, please.
for trash cans, I know she's working on it. I was hoping to get mine for Christmas, so I don't have junk. So we might do a program where you can come down and.
Put a big bow on it.
And, sign the paper and get your serial number turned in, and go ahead and take yours home. That might be a way. I know.
That's a good idea.
We'll discuss that, but, and the other thing is, is that we do need to, this alderman position on the board and stuff, we're just like now, one more person, we could maybe went ahead
Yeah,
and got, saved a month,
yeah.
and we never know who's gonna be sick, or has a problem, so we do need to do that. And then, we're sharing it. I guess something that needs to go back and talk about and stuff is on, in the budget, the mayor's pay and the alderman's pay. And I asked, they said, well, Wanda used to present to you, each month, you know, and then you would write the checks and stuff. I know Ben, he said he had one check since he's been here, it's been a couple of years, and I'm not sure the rest of them and stuff.
I never
It's
know.
not that I'm worried about the $9 or $10 that I'll get, because I hope I get it, I'll give it to a charity of some kind of stuff. But it is in the budget, and now if we're gonna go back, I don't know how, I guess, I don't know how far we go back, but, you know, like Lisa, she just left, and, you know, and I don't have any meetings she attended, and how long she's here, and so forth, and the ones that just came off wrong and stuff. And that's one thing I think we need to address. And I know Jeff told me, he said, well, I need you to take in the sheriff's office and give her some information, you know, I guess so she could, like a tax number or social security number, you know what I mean, or whatever, to put it in the payroll. But, if you would investigate that, let's maybe get that called up as soon as we can and get on the even keel. And if somebody don't want the money, you know, and they can opt out or whatever to do, but, I think probably, you know, like for bookkeeping stuff, some period of time, somebody's gonna come in and say, well, you know, here's $1,100-$1,200 that's been budgeted for the mayor and alderman, and nothing been taken out. I'm sure Paul gets his part, or he wants to get his pay. You don't want to be left out, so, so we just wanna make sure, I guess, that the people that's gonna get it, that it is appropriated for, you know.
I just
Hey,
thought
let me
everybody
ask
got
something,
it.
Mayor. Have you ever got, you
No.
never, you,
No,
as long as you've been here, you never got your check?
no,
Okay,
Why not?
I don't know, that's what I say, I don't.
well, you should have been getting one. When is the audit? When do we do the audit?
Supposed to be this month, right?
Now, this month.
When do we get the results? January?
I get one.
No, I don't get any.
I know,
But when my sister's on the board, she,
well, I mean, it's our.
well, but it still need to be, because in the audit, it would show up.
But if you our banking records, correct, it
Yeah.
needs to be, so, not that, I mean, not $10 a month, it's not like big
So that's, all the old business I got.
Okay, anyone else? Old business?
Well, the old business is what I have discussed, the fixing the video and the audio, but now it seems as though it's a little bit more than just our, of course, we need that, needs to be done. But then we gotta get it on YouTube, so, and until we get that part of it worked out, I mean, I don't know, when can we post the video of the meeting last night? I mean,
Well, I can explain the video last night. We are using a body cam at this point. And the officer this morning, we were up at like 5 a.m. We had like 6 wrecks at one time on 11E. And the officer that has that body cam, which is being used now, was out working wrecks. He had worked probably 16 hours. And he went home and didn't leave the body cam to download. So we will get to it as soon as possible.
We'll shoot for tomorrow.
Okay.
Because with that, it's audio and video together. When we do these two systems like this evening, they have to get spliced together before we
Right.
can post it. So,
I understood that.
hopefully we can get that and have it for tomorrow.
And I don't know if that's old business or goes into new business, but I mean, I have let it be known that we need to go ahead and get an estimate to fix our system.
And with the, you want me to say something? And with the old business, I've had a lot of people tell me about that stage. Do you know the amount that we pay for that stage? Heritage Day? I'm sure you probably know this. No,
No,
they rent it.
I know you ran it for downtown.
Okay, we like to know what that is. Because we've heard different things about it.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
I think probably she is probably $2,000.
Somebody told me.
No, a lot more than that.
Well, and, well, we can get those numbers. We will definitely get those numbers.
Well, it's something you just that we need to have, if you would, have a really serious workshop.
Absolutely. Absolutely, January. And this would be specific to just the,
And want to make sure.
okay, I would definitely like to set up a workshop for that. I also want to set up a special meeting for the end of the year to facilitate the repairs. So that will be coming, that will be forthcoming, including any information that will go along with that, the bids and things like that. I'll get that all to everyone for a special meeting for that.
And there's no way to
Let me look into that.
I didn't hear what.
Please do,
I will.
and even if you have to come back for a meeting or whatever.
And she's concerned that we haven't been able to do anything for the salary, and I said I'll look into perhaps a special meeting to work on that,
Yes.
a